Hey everyone, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to use EMR Notebook. To begin with, I want to walk you through the basic architecture. As you can see from this diagram, as an end user, you log into your AWS EMR console. From there, you can create a EMR Notebook, which gets saved into the A3 bucket of your choice. Using the EMR Notebook, you can access the Apache Spark installed on your EMR cluster. In this case, Apache Levy works as the REST interface between EMR Notebook and the Apache Spark. There are many benefits of using EMR Notebook. First off, you can leverage the rich interface and the functionalities come from Jupyter Notebook. Reusability is another one. When you shut down your EMR cluster, you will still have your EMR Notebook available to you. You can just reattach that to a different EMR cluster later on. EMR Notebook is stored in AWS S3. With the availability and the durability, you will never gonna lose it. Now let's go ahead and create a EMR Notebook. Right here on my AWS console, I have a EMR cluster running already. If you're not sure how to create a EMR cluster, you can refer to my previous video here at the top right corner. One thing you should remember when you create your own EMR cluster is to enable Jupyter Enterprise Gateway. Once you have your EMR cluster running, go to Notebooks. Then click on Create Notebook. Give a name for your notebook here. I'll just use EMR Notebook Demo. Also give a description here. Next you want to do is to choose a EMR cluster you want to attach to. On the security groups, you can just use the default one. For AWS service row, we can just leave it as is, so it creates the default row for us. On the notebook location, we can just choose a A3 location to store our notebook. Finally, click on Create Notebook. Usually it takes a minute or two to get it created. Yeah, it's starting. If you want to monitor the status, you can just go to this page. Great, now I have my notebook ready. I can either open it up by JupyterLab or classic Jupyter Notebook. I'm gonna go with JupyterLab since I like the user interface better. It's opening up right now. Still loading. Cool, it's now opened up. You can see the same notebook name you entered earlier here. Let's open it up. I'll double check the kernel. Make sure it's PySpark. Next, I'll try to create a Spark session. Since by default the EMR Notebook will always create a Spark session to begin with, I'll just run a dummy cell like this. Good, it's starting a Spark session now. Perfect, the Spark session is created. Next thing we're gonna do is to read a CSV file to Spark Dataframe. The term data CSV file is what I wanted to use. I'll select that and copy the A3 URI. Okay, coming back to my EMR Notebook. Putting the A3 URI here for this variable and run the cell. Okay, now we will create a data frame using the CSV file. We can just use the Spark Dataframe Read API to do that. Make sure you specify CSV as the format here. Since I want Spark to figure out the schema for me, I will use infer schema option as true. Also, I want to tell Spark if my CSV file has a header or not. Actually, let's verify that. We will use a feature called S3 Select to query the CSV file directly. Click Run SQL here. Cool, looks like the CSV file does have a header. Then we will just change the header option from false to true. Finally, specify the S3 location where you read the CSV file from. Now we are ready to run the command. Okay, looks like it got some errors. Let's fix that. Cool, it's running now. Perfect. A Spark data frame just got created by reading the CSV file. Let's take a look how many rows are available on this data frame. We can just do a count. Okay, looks like it got 2,999 rows. Let's take a look how the data looks like actually. Okay, there you have it. Awesome. Let's quickly summarize what we learned. At the beginning, we had a walkthrough about EMR Notebook basic architecture. Then we learned how to create a EMR notebook and attach that to a EMR cluster. At last, we learned how to write a sample PySpark application using EMR Notebook. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe.